Hello all and welcome to our Fireside Chat series, Emerging Markets Reimagined, Quality, Diversity and New Opportunities with Mawer Investment Management. I'm David Braham, Senior Executive Director of Thought Leadership and Market Intelligence at II. Joining me today is Rob Campbell, Board Director and Institutional Portfolio Manager at Mawer Investment Management. Rob, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
The growth in high net worth and ultra high net worth individuals across the emerging markets and the significant wealth transfer expected over the next decade is remarkable. How might this new generation of wealthy consumers reshape EM economies today?
Yeah, definitely agree that the upper end of the spectrum is an area worth paying attention to. And I'd actually divide it into two categories. Countries that have been wealthy for a while, and those that have really seen significant income growth in the last 10 years. And interestingly, many of these examples sit in a geographic region called EMEA, or Europe, the Middle East, and Africa, which is kind of funny to think of that as a region. But in the context of the broader emerging markets universe, where attention really does seem to flow to China and India and semiconductors, this is a part of the universe that tends to get overlooked. But let's start with those countries that have been rich for a while. And of course, I'm thinking about the Gulf states. In the Gulf, what's changing isn't so much the income levels themselves, so much as the orientation of policy and capital. We've seen governments become increasingly capital market friendly. They are seeing the benefits and really view it as a strategic imperative to deepen their local markets, to improve their governance and to broaden ownership. And they're using public listings and stake sales of government assets not to plug fiscal holes, but rather to support these other policy goals. And of course, as an investor, if you're seeing IPOs of government-linked assets and the primary goal isn't profit maximization, that can present some really great opportunities. Now, obviously, an extended period of war and significant geopolitical uncertainty could reshape long-term risk premia and discount rates in the Gulf. Dubai, in particular, has built its reputation on being a safe haven for expats, and the tail risks over the last few weeks have really obviously increased. But from a long-term perspective, some of these other positive developments in the Gulf, should we get a resolution to the ongoing war, could remain a theme that's really worth following. Eastern Europe is a bit different. These are countries that have seen significant increases in GDP per capita. Slovenia, Lithuania, and Poland, surprisingly, now have income levels that actually rival those of developed markets like Japan, New Zealand, and the UK. And as households move increasingly to middle income levels, spending and consumption patterns tend to shift from basic necessities to more discretionary categories. Or put differently, what maybe once would have been a discretionary item suddenly becomes a staple. David, I take the commuter train into work every day. My station is about a 20-minute walk from my house. And I used to do that walk, rain or shine, or I'm based here in Canada, snow, hail, whatever, every day for about 4 years. But as our family grew, and thirdly after our third kid, we bought a second car. Do you think I've done that walk once since we had that second car? And so my point is that over time, some of these more discretionary items become de facto staples as income levels rise. And in Poland in particular, we've seen some terrific management teams really take advantage of this trend. Dino Polska is one example. They've built a modern proximity grocery network serving smaller towns. Of course, a high proportion of the population in Poland is rural, and they provide access to great meat, produce, and they're rolling out those stores very successfully across the country. In Lithuania and Estonia, Baltic Classifieds, which, as the name implies, is an online classifieds business, is an example of how even relatively small economies can support dominant digital platforms once incomes and internet penetration reach a certain threshold, with room to increase monetization given take rates that are far below those of their developed market peers. And so whether it's better foods, modern retail formats, health and wellness, education, leisure, services, these are all areas where attractive investment opportunities can be found in this transition from the aspirational, or what once would have been the aspirational, to the everyday. And so I'll repeat a theme that I've said before. In a world in which investors shortcut emerging markets to AI, China, India, EMEA is a stock picker's dream in terms of the ability to find hidden gems that are a bit further off the beaten track, that offer great diversification to an overall emerging markets portfolio, and in jurisdictions with solid starting income levels, improving policy frameworks, and evolving consumption patterns.
Rob, thank you. One follow-up question I have is the way governments are now negotiating much smarter with Western companies about, it's not just they're setting up and providing expats to run it. They have to open offices, hire local, and really lifting up an economy. Is that a trend that's going to continue?
We think so. And this is a theme that we'll talk about in another section, is just the opportunities to invest in and partner with real local champions that have solid franchises locally, that are building out offices, that are rolling out their competitive advantages within their jurisdictions, and that also have the advantage of being not completely removed, but at least one more step removed from a lot of the cross-border tensions that we're seeing, whether geopolitically, with tariffs, or otherwise. And so, yes, absolutely a theme that's worth following.
Thank you so much, Rob, and thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Make sure you tune in into the next installment of our Fireside Chat series, Emerging Markets Reimagined, Quality, Diversity, and New Opportunities with Mawer Investment Management. Thank you very much and take care.